In this episode, we're going to look at some new motors for the Ridgerock, so stay tuned. I'm going to start off by saying I'm not 100% sure I need different motors, but the things I'm going to be looking for are modulation, torque, and punch. Now, the ESC is already set at 100% punch. The motors I'm looking at are based off of RPM and voltage. I didn't know the turn counts of the motors I was buying, so I bought two different sets. Unfortunately, one set of motors had some quality control issues. When I tested the stock Danchee motor at 8.16 volts, it came out to 12,400, as opposed to the new motor, which was 18,300. That's a little bit faster than I was expecting, but if I use the flux ring off the stock motor, I can increase the magnetic field within the motor and actually slow down the armature about 1500 RPM. Combine that with the gear reduction, and it's going to be about 107 more RPM over stock with no load. Before I did any testing to the motors, I did put a drop of oil on each of the bushings. Break-in consisted of 5 volts for 5 minutes in each direction, because I wasn't sure on which one would be the rear motor. The magnets are stronger than the stock ones, which is a good thing, and the can has kind of like a brushed metal finish, but if you look at it in just the right light, you can see that it says standard motor. That's the manufacturer. It's a RS380, and the numbers here, 4238. The 42 represents the diameter of magnet wire in millimeters, which is 0.42 millimeters in wire, and the most telling number, 38 here, is actually the turn count. This is a fresh 2-cell LiPo. We're going to test out the punch. Now we're going to test the slow speed modulation. I'm going to adjust the trim until it barely moves. With the punch test, the truck has a lot more wheel speed and doesn't go as far on the surface. The modulation speaks for itself to the point of almost cogging. In the incline test, you can see there's a lot more wheel speed. The new motors are slightly different from each other. At 8.15 volts, the maximum difference is 1080 RPM, which is only 27 wheel RPM difference. But that measurement is based off the no load at that voltage. How much it changes is difficult to estimate because the measurements are based off the maximum RPM, not the speed it will operate at that voltage. There were times where I had so much wheel speed, the tires would slip instead of grip. As you can see here, without changing any settings, I lack a significant amount of drag brake. Now, did the motor change give me the advantage I was looking for? And the answer is no. While I did like the increased modulation, the lack of torque, runtime, and drag brake don't work well with my driving style. I did make an adjustment to the drag brake in the ESC without much success. I will be returning to the stock motors because they work for me. Thanks for watching.